Greetings to all. This session is on diffusionism. We'll be having three subsequent presentations on three different schools of diffusionism. This will be just an introductory session on diffusionism so that you can compare what evolutionism was criticized on and how diffusionism school of thought came out of those criticisms. Okay. Beginning with the presentation. So what itself is the concept of diffusion? Now, the transmission of culture takes place in two different directions. Firstly, we talk in terms of time, chronologically. There is X repetition of a tradition over the generations itself. Secondly, we talk in terms of space, so through contact. And this concept through space is called as diffusion. It's defined as a dispersal of culture or a cultural trait in a new geography when the invention or say innovation or the older cultural trait, it has spread from its origin to another society and then becomes established in the new society. So that's the concept of diffusion. This theory is based on some assumptions. Firstly, that it rejected the whole idea of classical evolutionism, the concept of unilinear or sequential development of culture, especially alongside the psychic unity of mankind. It believed that humans are mainly the imitators and less of inventors, contrary to what evolutionist school of thought assumed. Their important inventions are made only once at a particular place, and from there they spread to other places. So that was the underlying assumption of this whole school of diffusionism. There are certain characteristics adopted by this school of thought. Firstly, the adoption of culture trait by a group depends on the meaningfulness and the usefulness of a trait to their socioeconomic life, right? Second, the original form of a culture trait need not be retained during the course of diffusion. Third, diffusion is more or less adopted from a developed to an underdeveloped culture. Fourth is, diffusion creates culture change in the group that it borrows. Right? Fifth, the barriers of diffusion or the barriers for diffusion across different societies are determined by certain factors like transport, communication, ethnocentrism, geography, etc. And more or less, the diffusionists have relied on empirical data which was obtained from fieldwork, unlike what evolutionary school of thought did. Especially German diffusionists, they used historical facts. The American diffusionists, they used this culture area approach, which was based on this principle of dividing the world into different culture areas based on geography, and they listed out certain cultural traits out of it, and then they did a comparison of with respect to the time, with respect to how the trait was diffused from one geography to another, and this will be discussing in later presentations also. So this was the underlying principle of culture area approach that was used by American diffusionists. Now, basically, there was three school of thought depending on the geography again: the British, German, and American. Just to give you a brief idea, this British school of thought, most of the pioneers, they have considered Egypt as the only center of culture from where the cultural traits diffused or they migrated to the rest of the world. This is also called as a pan-Egyptian theory, or also called as a heliocentric view. In the German school of thought, it assumed that the different cultures, they originated independently in separate parts of the world, and that each cultural trait or complex, they are built within a culture circle, and from there they diffuse to the other culture circles, and that's how the diffusion takes place. So that was the underlying principle of German school of thought. The third was by the American school of thought. It considered that world is divided into different culture areas depending on that geography again, and now these culture traits or the complexes that originated at the culture centers of these culture areas, and from there they diffuse to the other areas. It was called as the culture area hypothesis. Now again, there has been some criticisms for this school of thought. Firstly, the concept of diffusionism itself has been of a great value in several fields to explain the spread of ideas and the way they motivate the innovations. It has also been fundamental in the understanding process such as interplay between great or little traditions, Sanskritization process, etc. But it was criticized for its very narrow scope. The German school of thought was able to explain as to how the diffusion takes place, but Americans' culture approach that was criticized hugely for the difficulty in tracing the culture centers or the margins of an area. They were also criticized on the basis of uh, studying the culture traits in isolation and not as an integrated whole. That was again a major criticism to this school of thought. This is a practice question. Briefly think about it. What are the conceptual differences between evolutionary school of thought and the diffusionist school of thought? If you have any question related to the school of thought or the difference between the two, kindly post your questions in the comments. We'll be having a discussion there itself. And for your submissions, you can do it directly. Thank you for your time.